Hello my friends, it is me, Militant Ginger. It's been about a month since actually it's been 2 months since I did my last video, and I'll tell you what, when I made that video, I did not expect to be making the next one in Mumbai, India. But here I am. You can see it out of the window. It is a stunning view, looking out over the ocean, the fishing boats, the smoke. It's crazy. It's crazy that I'm here. It's completely crazy that I'm here. It's not somewhere that I had planned or expected to be, but here I am, and it's been incredible. So I flew out a few days ago on Saturday, and yeah, I flew into Delhi, and then I flew to Calcutta the next night, and I arrived in Mumbai the night before last at like 1 in the morning. And I have 2 more days here before I fly back, actually. Thursday, Friday, yeah, almost 3 days left before I fly back. So it's been crazy, as my life always is, but it's been crazy in a good way, as my life always is. I was very nervous about coming. It's funny, it's an incredible privilege to be allowed, flown to India. But I was really nervous about coming, and the reason I make these stupid videos is I realize nobody watches them, but it's useful for me to make these little recordings and look back at them, because you're different people throughout your lives, and that really struck home when I was standing there on Saturday morning trying to get all my paperwork sorted. I'm not sure whether I'd get on a plane or not, and I was scared. And I was scared to come to India because I was scared I'd die. And not in the physical sense, although there have been a couple of incidents in the bus as we were careering through the streets of Naidisha. It was more dying in a metaphysical sense, because I've been traveling a lot lately. I've been to Arkansas, Wyoming, and Michigan, and I've not expected to go much further afield. But it all ties into the last book I wrote, which was also about a journey. It's all stories of journeys, and I'm definitely finding out that the stories you write and the stories you live are much more closely intertwined than you might think. But the thing with journeys is the person you are when you leave and the person you are when you come back are not the same, because when you go anywhere, you find yourself challenged, you find your preconceptions challenged, you have new experiences that change the way you think. You become a different person, and that's good. That's why travel is so important. That's why travel is like one of the most important things. I've been incredibly privileged to have traveled quite a lot in my life, and not nearly as much as other people I know, but I'm incredibly privileged to have been able to travel as much as I have, and it's made a huge impact on me. But this is different. This is wild. And in the same way with my pretentious stuff about stories, I believe stories are a journey, they're a circle. And so I'm coming here. My grandfather was born here. He was born in Tamil Nadu, which is in the Nilgiri Mountains, I think, in Western Ghat. That must have been before the turn of the 19th century. And it's very funny, I tell people that, and all of the people here are so welcoming. They're like, oh, you're coming home. And then my father messaged me and said that my other grandfather, his father, was a reporter in Calcutta up until 1913. So there might have even been a crossover period when both my grandparents were in places I've been recently. And it does feel like coming full circle. So here I am, kind of being a reporter in Mumbai and Calcutta and Delhi, and then 107 years ago, yeah, my grandfather was a reporter in Calcutta, and he went to the Delhi Derby. My other grandfather was here. It's very weird. And also, it's very weird because I'm a different person to who I was when I arrived. And I'm still trying to figure that out. And I think that's the interesting thing. I was kind of liking the person who I was before I left. and then I come here, it all gets stripped away, and I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure who I am anymore, but that's a good thing. I think the thing I've learned here is that I think especially the way we live in American society and British society is we manufacture ideas of who we are. And I think a lot of the source of people's unhappiness is when the way we live our lives isn't congruent with the idea of who we have as a person. And coming here was just such an unexpected journey for me, and it just challenged me in so many ways that I hadn't anticipated, that I honestly feel like every pretense I had about who I was has been stripped away. And I'm sitting here like, blink, blink, who am I? What do I do? What are my values? Where am I going? Where are my ambitions? So it's crazy. And the one thing that's always been consistent is the writing. So, I had one idea for a book vaguely set in India at some point, and now that's solidified in my mind. And the book I just wrote, I published it on my birthday. It was the best thing I've ever written. And there was a space for a third part to this kind of trilogy, and it's going to take place right out there, in the smog-filled ocean. So writing has definitely remained the core focus of my life, and that's good. And I think it's made me realize that there is an awful lot of other parts of my life that I have to strip away. A little over a year ago, I said that 2019 was going to be the year where I had to face myself, and I think that these stories don't necessarily fit neatly into the calendar. So I'm still on that journey, but I definitely feel like I'm sort of coming into the end of it. My last book, I actually had a character who I killed, who was me from 6 months ago, which was interesting. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm rabbiting about. I just wanted to put something down because it's amazing. Here I am drinking tea, because coffee here is bloody awful. I told myself a year ago I'd be in Mumbai drinking tea, I wouldn't have believed it. 2 years ago, almost a little to the day, was when I had a very, very rough experience with the job and left, and I was like, God, imagine what torture it would have been if everything had gone according to plan. Imagine what torture it would have been if everything had gone according to plan. I've had 2 wild, crazy years, and I've achieved ambitions, and I have struggled with challenges, and I have gone in directions I never expected. And I think the most incredible thing to me is the fact that I look back at that turning point 2 years ago when the bottom dropped out of my world, and I thought it was a disaster, and I'm like, the real disaster would have been if everything had gone according to plan. So I probably have to go and catch up with everyone now. So the last thing I'll say, I have this stupid thing going on in all my books, and it's called the Great Narrative. That's basically that life is a story. And the great thing about that is you choose which direction the story goes in, depending on your actions. But life is a story, and has a path laid out for you. And I think the thing about life is no matter how hard you struggle to make it go the way that you wanted to go, at the end of the day, the story takes you where you were meant to go. And apparently at this point in the story, I'm meant to be in Mumbai, India, and I'm meant to be going on a very introspective personal journey, and I think that's a good thing. Anyway, my phone keeps beeping. I think that is all of my friends and colleagues saying that I should come down for some breakfast, so I will. But thank you for everybody who's listening to this, which I don't think is anybody, but I will speak to you when I speak to you. Namaste.